YouTube, what to do, man? It's your boy Benji. We back in between the ropes. Look, I was about to eat my snacks and catch this video, but then I said, you know what? Let's watch it in my most authentic and true form with y'all. Because the title of this video may have got me, but it is Gunther versus AJ Styles with cinema. Now, I just dropped a video the other day talking about how Gunther might just be cooked. But popular YouTuber Deontay DDJ, I've been seeing some of his videos.
AJ Styles.
He puts together good stuff, man. He believes differently, and I think that's the goodest thing about the wrestling community, as well as people who watch TV shows and movies and do a lot of that content that I like to do over here as well. It's all our opinions, you know. So you can agree and disagree with somebody because it's all art, and it can touch people differently. But I would like to hear what he has to say about this. Let's see it.
Gunther versus AJ Styles was a fantastic main event, as you would imagine, which is kind of why I'm wearing my Gunther Ring General coat today.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and that chop drops AJ off the ropes to the floor.
It was a match filled with chops, and Styles also taking target on Gunther's left knee through dragon screws and calf crusher attempts.
Clearly been the mission all along for AJ Styles. This is the strategy
For the calf crusher to weaken the leg for the submission move, middle of the ring, nowhere to go. Will he tap out?
Styles would even further target the knee with a springboard 450 splash.
Then the point of attack by Styles. Off the top rope, up over the top, right to the bad leg by Styles.
The selling of the knee was immaculate by Gunther. You could tell that he felt it, but also he was fighting through the pain, living up to the aura of his moniker as the career killer, which seems to be his official nickname after retiring Gold Bill and John Cena. Honestly, I don't mean to nitpick, but I feel like we could have done better to stray away from the very similar and already known Legend Killer moniker. But equally, it would be a very WWE thing to do, where they market Randy Orton versus Gunther down the line, maybe later this year, and it's like career killer versus legend killer. Who's the ultimate killer? And then Chris Benoit.
Oh my gosh.
Great move by Styles to turn that into a pinning combination. Styles went for the Pele again, and Gunther though,
He about to give me copyright.
but didn't matter.
There's then confusion because Gunther taps out to the calf crusher, but the referee doesn't see it. He basically does it to fool Allen.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, just inches away from the ropes moments ago. Dragged it. Wait a second.
Wait a minute. AJ Styles.
Gunther taps on the side the referee couldn't see, serving as a distraction as Styles is wondering why he hasn't won. The referee says, nope, this one will continue. Gunther low blows AJ as the referee's back is turned and powerbombs Styles for the win.
Okay, I was gonna let him cook, but we gotta make this make some type of sense. So the Randy Orton versus Gunther thing, that's ridiculous. We already saw it before. No. Cool, I'm not upset at them running it back because you'll have a limited roster, so that's cool. But in no way, shape, or form is Gunther in any way similar to what Randy Orton was doing as a legend killer. I mean, come on now. He was a menace. They had to ban the punt kick because he was literally kicking everybody in the head and sending them to the hospital. He was deranged to the point where they changed his music to the now iconic I hear voices in my head, because he was hearing voices in his head that made him do ridiculous and crazy, insane things. And if he was in a feud with you, everybody you knew, everybody you loved was a potential victim. He was showing up at people's houses. He kicked John Cena's dad in the head. I mean, dude, nobody was safe, to the point where he was pushing other people out of the things that they would traditionally do as well, making a lot of them act out of character. But Randy Orton was also dastardly. He was also cowardly. And at the end of the day, his goal was the gold. And he would do it, get the gold, retain the gold by any means necessary. We saw the match where he just could not beat John Cena. John Cena was fueled up, Super Cena, ready to go. He brought him to the edge, and he just thought that John Cena was going to tip over. He wouldn't. So Randy Orton says, you know what I got to do? Get out of here. So he slapped the referee in order to disqualify himself and retain his gold. We saw him push Triple H to the point when Triple H showed up at his house. And then years and years and years and years, even leading up to Bray Wyatt feud. I mean, we saw what he did with Ric Flair, Randy Orton. That, like, there's no way in the world you're going to compare what Gunther is doing to Randy Orton. No. Randy Orton had everybody running around trying to do sneak attack RKOs. And is Gunther really a career killer? John Cena was going to retire regardless, right? So he didn't kill John Cena's career. John Cena was solely scheduled to finish at Saturday night's main event. And it just worked out that Gunther was there. He won the tournament and was the one to beat John Cena. He didn't kill John Cena's career. The same way he bought Gunther out of retirement. But I would argue that he did bring Goldberg out of retirement. And then they were later able to have their match at Saturday night's main event. And Gunther went ahead and finished that fool. Sure, cool. But again, if we had to look at it from a broader scale, the only one's career that he ended was Goldberg. He sent his ass packing. Thank you, come again. Cena was already scheduled a year before to finish at Saturday night's main event, and it just so happened to work out that Gunther was one that went out there and won. And realistically, if you had to look at it from a broader scale, what was Cena supposed to do? I already won the gold. I already beat the record. I won the Intercontinental Championship. What am I going to do after this? Nothing. So if I win or lose, who cares? Now, obviously, a lot of us did not like the fact that he gave up because that was antithetical to John Cena's 20 plus years of work. But Gunther's not really a career killer, is what I'm trying to get to. The match versus AJ Styles, we all knew it was going to be pretty good. AJ Styles could still go in the ring. Gunther is just kind of the perfect dance partner because he's bland enough to allow for some high-flying offense. And in addition, I think he's somebody that you can easily reverse and counter moves from. And at the end of the day, he's a hard-hitting guy. So, a lot of stuff he's going to do is going to come across as impactful. I don't really like to watch Gunther in the ring, but I could see him being a directly smooth dance partner. And then, the issue that me, amongst many people, have with Gunther fake tapping out, Gunther is the ring general. He showed up to the WWE, and while he was spending 2 years plus as an Intercontinental Champion, he was letting everybody know that you can't hoop with me. You are not on my level. So then why suddenly does he need to cheat, to resort to Dominic Mysterio type of cheating in order to win? This would make sense if it had been built up the way that, let's say, Damian Priest and Gunther's build was, where Damian Priest was like, you're scared of me. You know you can't beat me, blah, 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 blah. And Gunther was questioning his confidence, the bravado that he had up until that point. But when he was able to finally win the match, it was like a breath of fresh air, a sigh of relief that Gunther was able to release because he realized, I could conquer this dude. I am who I say I am. This has not been built up that way. He's been extremely confident against AJ Styles to the point where he essentially called out AJ. And even though AJ is fighting for John Cena's legacy or respect, he's the one that started it with AJ. He was the one that was taunting him backstage. He was the one doing all this to him. He was the one that started doing the promos that led to AJ Styles coming out. Why would he have any fear for AJ Styles? Because he put him in a calf crusher? Gunther's been putting plenty of chokeholds. And then third, AJ Styles, you're just an idiot. You shouldn't have been in the WWE for years and years and years and believe that just because you saw somebody tap out, because you believed that this dude tapped out, that means that the match is over with. You know that the match does not end until the referee blows the whistle. You've been cheated enough to understand that if the bad guy cheats and the referee does blow the whistle or ring the bell, that does not necessarily mean that the match was a truthful and honest match. So the more you break it apart, it's just stupider and stupider and stupider. What I'm getting to after this long rant is Gunther fake tapping out or real tapping out is not congruent with his character. The only argument you can make is one I talked about when I made my Monday Night Raw review, when I said maybe Gunther could say, since I'm the ring general, I thought steps ahead of AJ Styles. Which, again, is stupid because why would he believe that him fake tapping out, not tapping out on the mat, tapping on AJ Styles' leg was going to be enough to make AJ Styles relinquish the hold? AJ Styles, who is a veteran. Plenty of people have cheated against AJ Styles. Let's not forget, who is somebody who he just feuded with that found every possible way to cheat? Dominic Mysterio. So you've seen any way that a guy can cheat in order to win a match. Why would you now suddenly believe that the referee's going to be the one to bail you out? Whatever. That's an insane reach from Gunther to believe that AJ Styles would have did this. But that's the only possible way I can see this making some type of sense. Right? If he's going to come to the ring and say, ooh, I tapped out, but hey, at least the referee didn't see it. That's stupid. So, again, it's inconsistent with Gunther as a character. AJ Styles is an idiot for believing that that tap out would have ended the match because you should have heard the bell. Crazy man. You should have signaled to the referee he's tapping. This is dumb. And for every asset that, or every facet that you're looking at, it's dumb. And the referee's telling him that he did not tap. So while his back is turned, low blow to AJ Styles. So again, you believe the referee was going to have your back. And you just got cheated twice. Low blow and a fake tap out.
Into a power bomb, stack up by Gunther, and Gunther picks up the victory.
AJ Styles. I can see why people wouldn't love the idea of Gunther kind of tapping out again, but at the same time, this was a well-told story within this match, and it gives Styles a reason to want a rematch, which should progress the feud a bit. Plus, Gunther will just say, he didn't tap out for real, you got outplayed, AJ. I have to be clear, there is a huge difference between tapping out to no submission wrestler Jey Uso and tapping out to a legendary pit bull like AJ Styles, who spent the whole match working the limb. It's gonna be very interesting to see what they do with Gunther post AJ Styles feud, because I don't imagine this goes all the way till Mania. So will Gunther kill another career on the show of shows? I will say, as always, the credit should be as loud as the criticism. I do like that we're mostly out of the lull period after this episode with Goon. Now we can have this AJ Styles feud and hopefully think ahead to what's next for him. And
I do agree. There is plenty of potential for this to be explained moving forwards, and at the very least, it's got us talking, which I will salute WWE for, because they've been doing a lot of things that were just stupid and inconsequential. I think that this does have the opportunity for WWE to play off of it and do a deeper dive amongst the characters of Gunther and AJ Styles in order to try and explain this. We can talk about the referees. There's a lot of different angles that we can go with this, but I just, again, amongst the many reasons that I mentioned, don't believe that it was the best way that it should have played out. Whatever. Now, Gunther and AJ Styles have been building something that was going to be a career-ending match. So, if they do this, and let's just say they end up having another match at, let's say, Royal Rumble, or right, at the Elimination Chamber, or Saturday Night's Main Event before WrestleMania, does that mean that Gunther retires AJ Styles? Or does AJ Styles beat him? I feel like there's a bit of a corner that WWE's penciled themselves into, but just like he says, Mr. Deontay, the potential is there for some story to be brought to fruition. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. I had to rant a little bit. Shout out to Gunther. Link to the original video will be down in the description below. Again, everybody's able to have their own takes and their own views and opinions on art. Y'all let me know what y'all's were.